Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I did here. I was dancing up quite a bit in addition to doing some work for our new online spiritual community that's going to be launching soon. And I was listening to a recording from a neuroscientist today, all on the topic of compassion and mindfulness and all sorts of words that are a part of my daily conversation and daily reflection. And this one segment was on the value of self-compassion. And she gave a lot of fantastic, Kelly Newman gave a lot of fantastic research and data. If you get a chance, take a look at her CD series on the neuroscience of change. But I was having a little reflection that I wanted to bring to this online forum. And that is one reason to believe that self-compassion is invaluable. You know, one of the things that I find in the nature of my work is that some of the techniques that I help facilitate and develop skillfulness with others, like compassion, empathy, presence, and these sorts of skills, can sometimes come across as soft, as something that it would be very nice to have these skills, but they're kind of on the sidelines of what maybe serves me the best. And I want to put out there a really great reason to believe that, I think I keep losing my connection. I'm going to walk inside as we're talking here. I want to put out one really compelling reason that I believe that self-compassion is non-negotiable. If you're going to be the best at what you have to offer in the world, if you want to show up not only with joy and enthusiasm and excitement, I'm going to sit on my steps here, but if you want to be more productive, if you want to have an equal amount of energy through your day, if you want to tap your creativity so that you not only have more momentum towards what you're doing, but you also discover new genius, new inspiration. And this could be strictly from business level to relational to personal enrichment. Self-compassion, I find, is truly non-negotiable. And in our world that tends to really push us towards judging ourselves, analyzing ourselves, measuring ourselves, assessing ourselves, grading ourselves, self-compassion can sometimes be seen as the opposite of that, but it isn't. Self-compassion allows all the information of your progress to come to you. It's good to have information around what we're doing and how we're doing and how we're progressing. But what self-compassion does is it loosens up all of your faculties, allowing you to turn in an open direction instead of a closed direction. So when we're assessing ourselves, like if I go about my day and I eat something that I don't think I should have eaten, I might have the propensity to immediately judge myself. Well, what happens when I judge myself there? What happens is I clench down, I turn inward, and I contract because I am judging myself. So my neural pathways contract, my system goes into even, I would think, a very mild to severe state of fight or flight. Well, when you or I are operating on a survival level, we're not at our top game, are we? We're focused more on what? On surviving. So being judgmental towards ourselves puts us into that survival because we're responding or reacting to the judgment itself. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. What do I need to do better? If we turn a different gaze towards our actions and our activity, such as self-compassion, instead of clenching down with our faculties, we open up with our faculties. taking that same example, eating something I wish I hadn't eaten. Let's say I just ate too much for lunch and now I'm tired. If I were being judgmental, I would lower my energy. So not only would I contract around it, but I would probably get sleepy or a little depressed or a little distracted. I would get moved away from the creative part of my life into the judgment part of my life. Self-compassion could look at that same action. Oh, I just ate too much. And first, recognize it with unconditional acceptance. And second, notice in the moment of doing the activity or the action that I wish I hadn't done, what do I wish to do right now? So you see, the information gives me good opportunity to reflect on what I wish to do now. But to hold a stance of self-compassion with unconditional acceptance can open up the opportunities so that the opposite of depression happens, that there could be joy. I know at times when I fail in my commitments to myself or my commitments to anything in my life, my business, my relationships, sometimes when I fail, it's amazing what happens when I find self-compassion inspire a little giggle. There I did it again. Not in a there I did it again, but a there I did it again. A lightness of heart. And from that lightness of heart, I still have the energy for my life. And then when I choose, let's say, to make a different choice, maybe eat a lighter dinner, go out for a hike, maybe when I make another choice, I'm doing so not as a reaction or as a punishment for what I just did. I'm doing it because in the very moment that I've allowed the information to come to me and I've exercised and experienced self-compassion, I have a free place from which to act. Well, what do I want to do now? So that is one reason I think self-compassion is non-negotiable in life. It moves us away from operating on a survival level where we have harsh judgment or strict, rigid guidelines, or where we're looking down our nose at ourselves, where we contract. And this contraction affects every body system. And it moves us into a place where we open, where there's freedom and breath, and where the past moment is let go, even when the information comes to us. And we are free in the moment to act for what is right then. Does that make sense? Okay, there's one reason. I will give many more reasons in the future. Great to be with you. Thanks everybody for logging on. See you again soon. Blessings.